What up, YouTube? It's another video from your boy Appliance God. So I got a video up and I'm gonna post today as well. But anyway, this video is about gas knobs on gas stoves, and I often run into this being in the used appliance business, where you go to, let's say hypothetically, we use this stove. You go to turn the gas knob and it won't turn. This one turns, but I'm just using this as an example, and the knob won't turn. You push in, you turn, and it doesn't turn. Well, I run into this problem a lot because I use water to clean the appliances. And when I first get the appliances in, sometimes the knobs will work at first, and then all of a sudden you turn the knob and it doesn't work. So this one I pulled off a older model GE. Let me take you guys over here real quick. I pulled this off a older model GE, but it's a very, very beautiful stove to me. Glass top. It is gas. Look at this. Have you ever seen one of these before? This is a glass top gas stove. Usually these are only electric, but GE came out with one of these, GE Profile Performance. I think it was in the early 2000s, I want to say. It's called a GE Spectra. And it's a beautiful, beautiful stove, and I just don't want to see it go to waste. And the only issue was that when you go to turn the knobs on the stove, this one works. But yeah, this one works. This one works as well. But this one, these two didn't. And the center one is for a warmer, which is unique. That's why I like this stove. But anyway, the center burner is for a warmer. So if you got this issue, same issue I got where you turn these knobs and they don't work, I'm going to put one up here in the vise real quick. Let me see if I can get this in here real quick. Yep. All right, so we got it in a vise, and you cannot turn that. You cannot turn that. So I've been beating my brain up about this for about 6-7 years. And usually what I'll do is I'll take the valve assembly itself off and just swap it out with another stove. And then usually that causes complications because you can take, hypothetically, let's take this one right here. All right, so excuse my work area, but you got that one and you got these. Now, hold on one second. All right, so you got these two together, and when you pair them up, they look almost alike. The difference is the one on the left is bigger, although they'll fit the same manifold. These inlets will fit the same manifold, and the connectors back here are the same. They're a little bit bigger, so I'll try to put that on top of it. And as you can see, even if we scoot it back just a little, you usually run into problems, right, when you swap it out with another valve stem. Usually one is going to be longer than the other one. I don't know if you guys can see that. And the make is going to be different. This one is more like a U, and this one is like a half circle, full half circle. All right, so that's what I usually do. But today I got really irritated with it because I need the stove to be out on the floors around Thanksgiving time, and I need to sell a stove anyway. So I'm sitting here, I'm taking it apart, I'm breaking it apart, trying to figure out what is causing it to seize up. And overall, what it is probably grease. Water has gotten down in there. So what I did, I took the stem itself, the valve stem itself, and I put it up here, and I hit it with the hammer 2 times on this side. You want to be careful with doing this. And then I hit it on with the hammer 2 times on this side. But let me just give you a heads up. I did put all type of lubricants in here. I did. I really put, like, put everything under the sun in here. I had no more WD-40, so I went with some 40 gear oil. That was a little thick, you know, so I've put all type of stuff in here to try to get this unseized. But anyway, this is what a valve stem for your gas stove knob looks like without the centerpiece. Now, this is the centerpiece. This goes in there in the middle right there. See that? And what happens is when you push in, this actually rotates. What that is, actually rotates this way and allow gas to come in through here. Hold on. Let me make sure I get this correct. Allows gas to come in through the back, I believe, and up through here. I don't know what that centerpiece is. Okay, maybe that's something. I'm trying to zoom in. Yeah, it allows gas to come in through the up there and out. Hold on, let me see if I can get this right, because I gotta pair it up. So you got your manifold. Hold on, this one doesn't have a manifold, so we gotta go over here to this one. It has a manifold, but it's coming straight back. Anyway, this is what you call your manifold. All right. So your gas comes in here, and when you turn the knob. No, sorry. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. Forgive me. So your gas comes in here to the manifold. And I'm teaching y'all as I'm learning. But anyway, your gas comes in. This is your gas coming from the back of the stove up through the manifold. And as you can see, it's basically a steel pipe. Comes over here to your knob. And what happens is when you push in, it'll be in that position when it's in there. When you push in and turn left, I believe it's right there, it allows gas to go out and into the burner assembly. All right, but I don't know what all of these other little indentations on it. Oh, you know what that is? I figured it out. That's crazy. This has to be, these grooves and indentations in here have to be the flow ratio. So walk with me now. I'm learning too. All right, so when you push this in, imagine you got a knob just like this, but it's in there. Anyway, you push this in, this turns, and when you want more gas, like high gas, those grooves in there allow a certain amount of gas to flow through there. So I would assume, all right, so we got one hole on the bottom and a one hole on the top. One hole on the bottom. So I'm assuming that will be, see, that's what I don't know what that is in there. I'm assuming that it basically allows a certain amount of gas in there, but I don't know what that is. All right, so let's put this under this real quick. Is it plugged in? All right, let's turn this on real quick, because I have to see this. Sorry, y'all. But hopefully this video helps somebody. You know what I mean? Because I'm quite sure in today's world, things are expensive, man. All right. So we don't. All right. So we're gonna get a better. All right. All right. So let me wipe my hands off. Turn that down a little bit, and let's see if we can get a better picture of that. All right. So clearly, that is some type of metal piece in there. Oh, sorry about that, y'all. And these are sort of grooves that allow certain air ratio, I would say air to gas ratio, I would assume. Maybe not. So as you're turning, maybe the air travels, you know. Hold on, let me get my pointer. Let me get my pointer. Sorry, y'all. I'm not the best cameraman in the world. Don't confess to be. But if you guys continue to subscribe to my channel and this video helps you, I'll be able to get, what's the name? I wish you guys help me out like you help other people out, man. It'd be great. Anyway. Alright, so I'm assuming that gas comes through here. Let's see. Let me get my pointer back on the screen. Alright, so gas has to flow through here. This is the only justifiable explanation, if that makes sense. So gas comes through here, right? Comes through here and go around these loops. I don't know, I gotta pull up a diagram in it. Because it seemed like gas would come through here and just go out the back. Well, okay, hold on. So, follow me, y'all. Gas is already permitted in here. Alright? Well, it can't be, because it's in the off position. Alright? So, gas, when this turns, maybe these are just the indentation that it follows through on the... Here, let's get this on. Let's get this. Let's see if we can... This is actually inside the barrel of, let's say, hypothetically, without the centerpiece. All right, this is what we're looking at now. All right, so, all right. So let's see. Let's raise this up some. Let's raise this up some. All right, let's get our lights together. Our lights are not. All right, so maybe. Sorry, y'all. I'm not the best cameraman in the world. All right. I'm trying to get it to where we can see down. Oh shit. All right, let's raise this all the way up. Let's raise this all the way up. That way, we got enough height to move. Let's get these pointed in there. Alright, let's get you... Oh, alright, so clearly... Oh, shit, man. So, yeah, those grooves... Those are grooves that this little piece right here follows. So I'm assuming, like... Walk with me, y'all. Walk with me. Listen. This is the gas valve itself. All right. This is the gas valve. This is what you, with the knob on it. Just imagine a knob on it. Have an imagination. We were all kids once, so I know you guys can do it. Have an imagination. So this is the knob, and we go to turn it. This little piece right here turns, but as well as this piece turning, there's a centerpiece. You see that centerpiece in there? That centerpiece right there turns. This piece right here, the stem, is actually what causes this piece to turn. And I'm going to show you why. So we got this piece open up right here. This piece open up. If you see that, you got that little L-shaped thing right there. That actually... you see that little indentation in there? That right there. That teeth. This, I'm zoomed in, that's why. Alright. That teeth. Oh. Alright. That teeth right there goes into that slot right there and causes this centerpiece to turn. Alright. So in the off position, when I pulled this out, it was down like this, right? So we have to, all right, so let's see. It was down like this, so the indentation piece, which is that little notch right there, was down. So on the top, there is no gas, right? There's no hole. So when we turn, this little piece turns, and you got that right there. So I'm assuming it's only allowing a little bit of gas through there at that point just to spark. And as you turn, this will be, this will be high. So it's letting all the gas through there. All right, yeah, that's got to be it. That's got to be it. All right, so, sorry, y'all. Low, only letting a little bit, and high. Yep. So this piece right here is the piece that gets seized. Anyway, short, y'all. This piece is the piece that gets seized in there. And we tried to get a good look into the barrel, but I really couldn't see in there. Oh, there we go. So don't mind all of that. That's just grease and stuff. So yeah, so that barrel is pretty clean in there, meaning it doesn't have any indentations in it, like where these grooves would follow, those grooves on there. So it must let gas in there at a certain ratio. And as you can see, there's a hole in the top piece right there. I'm trying to get it. All right. So as you can see, that hole is right there. So that hole right there. And that comes in from the manifold. So gas comes down in from the manifold. This piece in there turns, and allow gas out. So I'm assuming in this way, let's look at the position of our teeth. Oh yeah, if you guys look at that, the teeth, that little teeth would technically be on high. So if we took it, this is the actual knob too. If we took this, that would be on like high. Yeah, high. So what I did, in long story short, hopefully this helps somebody, but I really want to dissect this and break it down and figure out why these become C's. You see a lot of videos on YouTube where they, they show you put some lubricant and lithium this and all that stuff, but I really wanted to open it up and get this out of here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to clean the inside of this barrel out, and I'm going to put it back together, and I'm going to show y'all what it looks like all together. Quite naturally, it's going to look like one of these, but we're going to see if it physically works. All right, so let me get this cleaned up, put it all back together. There was a little screw in there. I really don't think that screw does anything, to be honest with you. And I think that debris and stuff is what causes it to actually, yeah, let's look at that under the microscope, because that debris on the top of that, the head of that piece is what I believe gets it to seize up. Alright. I wish you guys can see. Let me turn the light off right here. Alright, so let's see. See if we can get a better picture. Alright, so it don't look too clear to you guys, but it's super clear on my end. Yeah, that all of that is like grease and stuff, grease and debris, and it causes it to become seized. It just locks it. And I'm gonna tell you guys something else. What I did, I actually used a mini torch on this. I used a mini torch on this to try to heat it up, thinking that, okay, if I heated it up, maybe, you know what I mean, it would cause the metal to shrink, not knowing that this is aluminum, and it's got to be aluminum. It looks like it's aluminum. I don't think it's steel. Yeah, it's got to be some sort of aluminum. But anyway, that yeah, that debris, that brownish debris, is what causes it to seize up, just from gas. A lot of times when you're cooking, gas, just thinking logically, I'm not a scientist, But when you're cooking, gas heats up. It has a, if this makes sense, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but it turns into a vapor. Almost some of the gas turns into a vapor. I'm talking about the grease. Excuse me. The grease turns into like vapor. I don't know. I just think that this is just grease and dirt. But my question is how does it get in there in such a locked position? You know what I mean? When you looking at these, look at this. This is screw in what's name. But if you think about it, especially on something like this, grease gets down in there, falls back in there. You know what I mean? Let's look at this one, for instance. Let's look at this one up in a minute. Yeah, this one has grease and debris all on it. Yeah, this one has grease and stuff all on it. And you'll be surprised how many of these stoves I take off of here. I mean, knobs I take off, and there's grease all behind, the paneling. So you got the paneling of the stove, which is the face plate. And once you take that face plate off, here we got a paneling back here. This is another stove I'm working on, Insignia. So just look at this, for instance. I took this off, but look behind. This is all behind the knob. So some kind of way grease and debris and filth and dust get behind there and work its way into this lock position. Works its way into this lock position somehow and seizes it up. And I'm assuming that when I wash these, definitely I know for sure water probably gets in there, and that's what causes it to seize. Especially I do a dry session where I stick the stove after I've washed it and cleaned it up. I stick the stove in front of the heater and let it dry to try to get any residual water that's left behind out or dried up. And I'm pretty for sure that's what seizes it up. But let me put this back together, get this part cleaned up, put this all back together, and let's see if it works. You know what I mean? We'll put it up in the class up here, whatever the name is, and we'll see if it works. All right, so I got the piece all put back together. I took a little bit of steel wool, cleaned that orifices off that's on the inside of the chamber. And now we're going to take our pliers and see if we can get this to turn. Removed all the grease and stuff, which I probably should have left a little bit in there. So we push in, and look at that. Hold on. Let me put a knob on here. Let me put this knob on here. Alright. So we push in. A little rough. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, there it stops. And goes back. Alright. So with a little bit of know-how, a little bit of, hands, working with your hands, you remove those 2 screws. You only got 2 screws. Be careful when you're removing there, because there is a little bitty spring. You see that spring? That sits right there in the center, And what I did, like I said, I just took a hammer. I didn't want to hit it to break it, but I was just trying to loosen up that center piece in there that was seized in there. And I think that screw in the center is some type of tensioner. I believe it is. I don't know. I'm not 100% for sure. But we got this off. We got it. We got the 2 screws tight. We got the 2 screws back tight. Once I put this back on there, I can't turn it with my hand, but we can put the knob on there. Push in, turn left. Feel a little rough right there, but I don't think that's gonna hurt anything. I don't think it's gonna hurt anything. I think it's seated in there pretty good. So we should be good to go. Be good to go. All right, so with that video being it, we're going to chalk this one up. I'm going to post this one. If your valve is stuck, like, subscribe,